How are we doing, guys? Welcome to yet another episode of Full Circle by Reunion. Today's topic, zombies. Zombie apocalypse. So, basically, four of us are going to go through and talk about what would we do if the zombie apocalypse actually happened.
Oh, motherfucker!
Ow! Okay, so we can continue now.
Okay, so I'm Jared.
I'm Nathaniel. Remember, I'm counting on your vote for the 2016 presidential election. This is...
I'm Raven.
Zorro.
You already did Zach. You already did Zorro.
It'll click. It'll click.
So zombies! The undead.
I guess we should start with the origins of zombies. The origins of zombies started really back, it's a really old mystic thing, especially in the Caribbean, which zombies are actually based off a real thing. What they would do is they would slip them a substance that would literally make the person seem dead. Seem dead,
And kind of...
they would have a funeral for them and everything like that, and kind of bewitch them in a way.
It's more like African voodoo and whatnot. That's where it kind of...
It's a real thing.
It's
Those zombies are real.
Yeah. And it would make them easier to control and, you know, like, have them do stuff.
Well, because they would look like they were dead at first, so everyone would assume they were dead. Then they would come up and they would get them, and they would be kind of entranced, if you will.
It makes them more influential.
Yes,
in a sense.
You can make them do basically anything. Slave work.
Yeah.
And that's what stems the whole modern zombies things really come from.
Yeah.
There's also the theory of like the rage virus and a couple different things, which
infected with rage.
With rabies. Rabies could theoretically become a zombie-like virus.
Yeah, we talked about this.
It's just if it becomes highly contagious, because it's the only way as of right now that rabies is spread is through saliva of an infected animal biting someone else. So it is theoretically possible. Well, it's not theoretically possible. It's definitely possible to get rabies from someone else. So there's also prions, which are a disease that will only affect you if you eat the diseased meat from something else that's infected prions. And prions is a bacteria, I believe, that lives in your brain that basically makes you look like a zombie. Like you muscle atrophy and everything like that, and you can't walk for everything. And this is it's like cuckoo or something like that. Croo or something is a disease that's like in Papua New Guinea with headhunter tribes, because they would eat their victims in a ceremonial way, and there was this a rampant infection with them that they would get this disease, and the only way is to get it is by eating their victim, quote unquote. And then you would get this, and you would basically, it's a death sentence.
Yeah.
Really good book if you ever want to read about it. Also about mad cow disease. It's also a prion thing. It's called Brain Trust. Really good book. Yeah. But now we'll talk about the fictional zombies.
Zach? Zach? Fictional? Let's get into World War Z zombies.
Yep. Sprinters.
Bullshit. Zombies don't run.
Well, no, you don't know that.
Zombies don't run. Muscle atrophy, dog.
You don't know
Well,
that.
it depends on the virus, too, or whatever the cause. Because, okay, so we could break it down to the different types of zombies, yeah?
Yes.
So, okay, let's start with our slow walkers. Okay?
Which are the most arguably realistic.
There's merits to both sides. There really are merits to both sides. I mean, like you said, there's like the voodoo zombies, that kind of stuff makes them kind of slow and that kind of stuff because of the drugs that they give them. And then there's also the other zombies from whatever mysterious origins or whatever.
The question is, are they undead?
That is also a question.
Because if they're dead, then they're much less atrophy and they would be slower.
Yeah.
If they are still living and sentient being and are just infected by a virus, then they could still have the capacity.
They still have their
to
motor
run.
functions and that kind of stuff. Like hence, like 28 days
Depends
later.
on how it's affected. Depends
or
on the
you know, World War Z and that kind of stuff. The movie, not the book. Totally different things.
Totally different.
Yeah.
I got sound. Oh shit, you're looking at me. So. Okay. You guys and your slow zombies. I don't see slow zombies kind of taking over the world. I mean, they're slow for one reason.
Yeah.
It's sad.
We would be able to.
Pathetic.
We would be able to handle it.
It would be a shock in the beginning, like, why aren't they dying when you hit them or shoot them? But even when you shoot them, that breaks bones and disables limbs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like...
No, I firmly believe our military would be able to handle a slow walker zombie apocalypse.
Yes. I don't understand. I don't think that could ever actually truly break out.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about like a Resident Evil type of zombie.
Or sprinters.
Oh, I was going to get into that
World War Z.
later.
Resident Evil zombies, that could potentially have some deadly catastrophic, especially if there's an organization behind it.
I love the Resident Evil zombies with the movie. Well, with the movies, how they explain And I understand you in the games and whatnot. I don't play the games. I find them kind of stupid.
Well, that's because you just played 6 and
Shut
got
up.
5.
I
Dude,
don't
4's
care
scary.
for it.
4 is creepy.
I love
4's
the
the
movies.
scariest one.
Plus, I love
Yeah.
the main actress,
Oh yeah.
Mila Jovovich?
Russian model.
Yep.
Yeah, she's.
We would like to formally announce our respect and our admiration for what was her name again?
Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich. You are an amazing actor, and we are very supportive of your work.
Very supportive. Just like you support something of ours.
You went too far with it.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to make a genuine thing, and you definitely went too far with it.
You went too deep with that one.
But anyway, to the zombie part of that.
Throwing
Leaving
down
Mila.
the heat.
Just like the whole aspect of a virus that will rebuild the body.
Like regenerative. It's
Yeah.
regenerative, yes. That's an interesting concept, and that is especially with the stem cell work that's going on now, which we are looking towards that. So it'd be really interesting to see a virus that was able to do that.
And just going back to your Resident Evil thing, keep going. Like, it mutates.
Well, yeah, anything. Well, that's the thing. That's the one issue I have with a lot of zombie movies, is it doesn't take into account random mutations, which has already been scientifically proven as a real thing. That as the virus goes farther and farther along, it's not going to stay the same virus, which it does in many zombie movies and shows. It will mutate and change along the thing with it. Random mutations occur, including in viruses.
Okay, now, the one zombie occasion I truly believe could happen. You're gonna say bullshit to this, and I don't care. But it is the rabies.
No, I think that could totally happen.
Because rabies, what it does, at least with the animals, like just drives them crazy, and they literally will go like bite happy.
Do you know how to save yourself from that, though? Water. Anything that has rabies is hydrophobic. So if you have a big pool of water around you, they won't cross it. They're terrified of it.
Yeah, there's actually there's videos of people
they can't
who are
swallow.
infected with rabies.
They can't swallow.
That they try to make themselves drink water and they can't. They physically
Because they can't. Your
they're
swallowing
mentally
is
not
fucked
letting
up
themselves.
when it happens like that. That's why you foam at the mouth with rabies and everything like that, because you were incapable of swallowing.
Keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, so with the rabies, they're not technically undead.
No, they would still be living, just infected.
So in World War Z, they said that the zombies were actually dead, and so they can't infect them with another virus to kill them. Well, that actually can't happen. Rabies kills the host, so once that's dead, it's dead. So probably there would be a limited time to the.
I think there's an
life of the
actual
zombie, so it
scientific.
kind of be like the
Isn't there
28-day zombie kind of.
Yeah, there is a scientific study that was done that said that you'd only have to survive like 6 weeks or something like that at most.
But I also like the 28 days zombie occasion, and when everyone thought it was over, but there was still just a couple left, and one got just in the.
Well, because
group
one
of
could cause the
survivors.
whole again. Yeah.
Yeah, and just screwed everyone over.
Yeah.
But just even that, zombies that run fast, that's just even more terrifying.
Yeah. And my favorite zombie, and this is off of, oh god, I can't remember his name. It's, you guys, if you're reading or watching this or whatever, you guys can look it up, but the book is called Morningstar. And I think it's 3 books. I think it's a trilogy, yeah. And the way the zombie virus works in like this is you get infected, and it's kind of like rabies. And, you get full motor functions, you can, as like a zombie or whatever, you can sprint and that kind of stuff, and you're out to seek and bite other people. They don't necessarily eat people, they just bite them and infect them and continue to spread the virus.
So it's not like the hungry zombie hypothesis.
No. But what happens, and it's
Yeah,
interesting
I don't
too,
think I'm the one.
because it's similar to the rabies, is, at the beginning of the book, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything for you guys, but at the beginning of the book, it starts off in the Middle East and that kind of stuff, and eventually the military has to fall back, and they figure out that these things are very hydrophobic, I think is what you used.
Yeah, fear of water.
Fear of water, and it's kind of like a rabies virus, But what they later discover, and this is what I like about this kind of like zombie virus, or this version of the zombie, is you can, so if you're first infected and you're alive, you're a sprinter. And people can kill that zombie anyway. It's still no 28 days later zombie. It doesn't need to be the head. It could be anywhere vital as a regular human being, and it's dead. Now, what happens is after the body dies, the virus actually reanimates, the virus reanimates the body, and it becomes a walker or a shambler.
If you were to shoot them with a headshot, in the first try,
headshot puts them down permanently. A headshot will put them down permanently, regardless of whether they're alive
Is this
or
like
not.
that one game that came out, The Last of Us or whatever?
No.
Because it seems exactly the same.
Not necessarily.
With the
'Cause-
zombies, like you have the sprinters, and then you have the walkers, and you have like the completely mutated ones.
Well,
Well,
no,
no,
like Dead Space zombies. Those
Oh,
things will be
fuck those
terrifying.
things.
That's religious zombies right there.
But yeah, well, that's the interesting concept I like about it, is that the virus is just so virulent and determined that even when its host is dead, it brings it back a second time until the brain is actually destroyed. And when it's brought back that second time, it's not alive.
It's undead.
It's undead, and that because of that, it doesn't have full motor functions. It's only able just to kind of like walk or shamble and that kind of stuff. But the only thing to kill that like second reanimation is to actually shoot it in the head, and that permanently puts
And
it
the,
down.
the entire key thing about any zombie hypothesis is how is the disease, or the if we're going with the viral infection, for instance, how is that transported? Because most zombie things are based off of simply that they are transported via bitten. That's the whole thing. But there is a whole other concept to this, where especially with modern weaponry and everything like that, biological warfare, where if these things were to per se exist, aerial or through the air, viral. Like there's many other ways. Contaminated water source. V for Vendetta kind of touched on that a little bit, not with zombies, but they contaminated the water source, so that's why the whole thing happened. See, that's the whole thing. It's especially we were talking about with Resident Evil. It's a corporation doing it. It's the entire corporation. So why wouldn't someone? Sorry to kind of run over you. Why would it be so far-fetched to think of an organization that has like the Miracle Cure to make money off of it? Basically, it purposely contaminates a water source or an aerial supply or whatever to infect a somewhat sizable population to create a scare.
And going into that a little bit too is my thoughts on like how it would start. I don't think it would just be some natural random thing. I don't think it. I mean, the last
artificial manipulation.
I don't think it'd be like The Last of Us, where it's just some random thing or like the spore or whatever. Just kind of because the flood or anything like that.
The flood.
It wouldn't be exactly natural.
It could be the flood. It could be aliens. Aliens are infecting us all.
I think it would actually be like a weapon or some chemical mishap or an actual attack. It would have to be purposeful. It would have to be man-made. Not to say that there's actual natural things that actually happen to zombify animals, different creatures. Like going back to like The Last of Us, that's an actual thing. And
there's species of in the rainforest. There's for every species of insect, there's a species of infectious. I think it's a bacteria or a parasitic force that will force the host to walk up to its highest points and release spores.
That's what The Last of Us is
so that's
based
kind of
off
like a flood thing, though, too, at the same time, because with the spore concept, at least.
Yeah.
Because then if it's bacterial, then it could release spores like a mushroom or something like that. And then that goes into the aerial concept where it's in our air supply.
Parasites are really creepy. The ability to just take over, some of these insects just to take over the host completely, suck all the resources out, and then just dispose of it.
Penis.
Why did you say penis?
Well said. Okay.
Why?
Now the next topic.
I hope that's nothing to do with parasites.
There's some parasites that go through that, but
it doesn't. But
right.
The next thing. Okay, let's go back to slow zombies.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I don't see this could happen. Okay, let's look at like The Walking Dead. Now I love the show.
Walking Dead's.
Okay.
Comics are
and
amazing.
I'm interested.
comics are way better than the show too.
I'm interested to see if they're gonna follow the comics and how brutal.
They don't.
How brutal.
They don't.
No. Like they follow them like kind of like a guideline.
Everyone's
Have you read the
dead
comics
in the
yet?
comics thing.
Shh, shut up.
Hold on, have you read the comics?
No, I know about them though. I
Yes.
know how they end.
They don't
Okay.
follow it.
No, they kind of do.
Sort of, but all the characters that were in the comics are dead. I mean,
Hey,
and
do
the
you even
show
watch
should be dead.
it? Are you even watching it? Like up to date?
No, I'm saying, but I've read the comics, and I know from where I left off.
Yeah, they
other
have
people
different
should be
characters,
died.
but that's TV for you. They have to
I know it's
keep
TV.
they
I'm
have to
saying
keep
it's not.
popular.
They somewhat go off of it, but
it's going down the same line. Okay, but they do take out some of the brutality of it. I'm interested if they're going to keep the brutality with. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but with the way some of these people are going to die.
I want to see
Okay.
Negan. I want to see Negan coming soon.
Now you just did a spoiler or something.
It's not a spoiler.
No, it's
Spoilers.
it's actually out there that they're thinking about doing Negan.
Spoilers
Okay.
everywhere.
I didn't know about that. I didn't think they were going to bring him back or bring him in. Okay. But anyway,
going back to
with that
walkers.
zombies. Okay, slow zombies that actually eat the people they capture.
The hungry zombie theory.
Okay, so first of all, how could there be that many zombies in the world that have full bodies
That's a good point.
that aren't crippled from being eaten?
Which is like the very first episode. There's like that's the only crippled zombie.
Yeah, like that's all you see, and all you see are these like scratch marks on the neck. And then I like what they did though. everyone's already infected. Once you die, you turn. But that still doesn't explain why there could be so many like that.
It's because the thing is, and this is the issue I have with the walking zombie theory, is our military should be able to handle it. There's not a question for a walking zombie theory, at least. There's no problem our military or SWAT teams can even handle that. Or local police.
Even
That's
like,
not an issue. There's enough guns and ammo out there.
Even just regular people. I mean, we've all, like, as a, you know...
We're fighting to the death. You're going to do everything you can to survive.
Well, I mean, not only that, but we're in a society now where zombies are, like, a thing, you know? Like, there's TV shows. Everyone knows what's up. Like, on all these shows, no one knows what a zombie is. But here... Everyone knows what the fuck a zombie is. So they see a zombie, or they see it on the news, they're like, aim for the head. Aim for the head. Yep, I know what to do exactly.
Or just deterrence. All it takes is
or you gotta just
there are sufficient,
that too.
Sufficient blood force trauma.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Is just
or severing the spine.
Yeah, or just crippling, or you can just cripple it.
Yeah.
Or you can do like Shaun of the Dead and just keep it as a pet. I want my best friend to play video games with me.
Why not? I'd keep you around for different purposes.
Oh, whatever. You wouldn't even get near me.
No, I'd be squeamish. I'd be like, no, get that thing away from me. Hit you with
we already went over this. If the world got into chaos or like zombie apocalypse, either one, this kid is not welcome anywhere near my house. He would be shot on spot.
Seriously, all I'm gonna get is just your Twinkies and Hostess. That's it.
Zombieland's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Were they runners or walkers?
Runners.
They were runners.
They were runners. They were runners.
Yeah, they were runners in that one.
Yeah.
Now, runners could potentially have the capability. It depends on the numbers and depends on how fast the outbreak is for runners to have serious infrastructural damage to us.
Well, I think
here. Zombieland actually has different type of zombies than most other shows ever. So I don't know if you guys actually looked into this. They're not dead.
No, they're still
zombies.
living.
Those zombies are still living, and what causes them to be zombies is the fact that their brain swells. Now there are reports out there. Basically,
you could take it back. You could reduce the. You could save them.
They could be saved.
There's a potential for, and that's a very interesting thing. That's why I like Resident Evil, is there was a capacity for them to be saved.
Yeah, it didn't work very well though.
No, it didn't.
Not for the ones
for obvious reasons.
They basically just mutated them and made them into bosses.
But because he did fucking all of it.
Yeah.
But with Zombieland, how the zombies, the swelled up brain would just cause them all the anger, and that's what caused them. And that's been found true. There's stories of like people on rafts, on the survival rafts. Basically, one gets infected, and the infection causes the brain to swell. And right before they die, they usually kind of go on this like crazy rampage where everyone's trying to hold them down just so they don't try to kill someone on the boat. And it's very often. That's actually a very true story where
rage is a powerful thing.
People, when they get infected, they kind of go crazy right near the end.
Oh, yeah.
The brain just slows
But
so
like,
much.
infrastructure-wise, if it was sprinters, I think it would actually spread pretty quickly. I mean, okay, think about this.
Depending on how quickly a quarantine area is set into place.
Well, so there's different things. I mean, it all goes...
Factors.
Yeah, it all comes down to, like, the different factors of the virus. How fast does it spread? I mean, like, how fast does it take to incubate?
Rabies doesn't spread fast right now.
Yeah.
Now there's potential for it to one day very
Does it turn you within, like, a couple seconds? Does it incubate for a couple days? Or does it turn you, like, instantly?
Like Cloverfield where you explode.
Yeah.
We gotta realize this: if it spreads too fast, it will never leave the continent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. If it's too rapid of a pace, it will not leave the immediate area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it will kill itself.
Yeah.
No, but it essentially burns itself out quickly. But
if
it's a slow burn virus, where it's like,
where there's a long incubation period, where if it's of the principle where it basically incubates, say, for a week inside of you, then you have the capacity to travel a large distance.
Infect others. And not only that, it comes down to, because there's the incubation period. So you infect someone, now they have to wait a week. Mm-hmm. You infect another person, now they have to wait a week. It gets to the point where almost a large, like, you know, you start getting...
a large portion that's
been exposed that will turn. And now you have them in different areas, and there's going to be separate incidences spread out. It's not going to just be one area, it's going to be different things popping up.
How contagious is it? What's the incubation period? And how viral it is? How versatile the disease itself is?
Yeah.
How ability to mutate and adapt the actual disease itself is?
Yeah. And then...
that's like the whole Ebola scare. It's not easily you can't easily get Ebola. It's a really hard thing to actually get Ebola. That's why,
Despite what the whole
there was
scare
many.
was.
Don't get me wrong.
That's a
We
terrible
fucked
thing.
up on many levels of that. There's absolutely no plan in place. Now they may be working on a plan, but currently there's no plan. Everyone thinks that what's the disease?
CDC?
CDC. Everyone thinks the CDC will get involved. The CDC has absolutely no jurisdiction to get involved until it's been declared a national epidemic. And with the whole Ebola thing, obviously it wasn't. There was only a handful of cases reported, so the CDC had absolutely no authority. So there's no real plan for it. So for an early zombie stage infection, when it's like the first handful of cases, there's no jurisdiction. That's the issue with you were talking about with how versatile the actual disease itself is, if it is a disease in this circumstance. Because for the first handful of cases, depending on the incubation period, then they could, if they're not on a watch list, I mean, they can go halfway across the world. They can infect who God knows who.
What I like about, I think it was either like the emergency response website or like CDC website. They have like these different things in case
They have a zombie. CDC has a zombie
they
plan,
have
yeah.
a zombie plan, and I like it's funny. It's basically what you do in case of anything else.
Yeah,
It's basically
it's how
stay
you would
inside,
handle, yeah.
lock your doors, stock up on water and food, just like any other
That's
natural
how you
disaster.
exactly. Yeah.
Let me pose this question for you. What would happen if a zombie apocalypse broke out on a massive supercontinent containing all the land
What do you mean by
on
super-
the planet?
If there was only one continent,
Yeah.
Well, then, if it was a fast
Get a
spreading
boat.
zombie, that would be the worst one.
get a boat.
Yeah.
Now,
There's no other land.
There's kind of-
You'd have
there
to
is
live
kind of
in
a
the
debate.
sea.
I will live off of the sea.
there is kind of
Boil
a
the
debate that,
seawater so that I would have to
Renee.
contain it. Yes.
not about like that. Just if
What's the question?
if there was one continent, this is kind of where you were
Like
coming from.
Pangea.
You were
Let's
kind of
just
going
say
like way
Pangea.
off. Yeah, like Pangea. If it was a fast zombie, you have great potential for it to take over very, very quickly. But then here's the thing: you also lose the element of surprise when it comes to that. You have some that it's just, but here's the thing: government actually can retaliate pretty quickly. They can shut things off. They
There is the
known
capability
where they
for
will
that, yeah.
sacrifice a town.
They
for
will.
the good
They
of
will.
the
There's
whole
the-
country.
I mean, think
So
about
they're not- if there's a couple survivors in there, they're not gonna
think about it as
open
like
the
in
borders
World,
for that.
Exactly. Think about it as like in World War II when the British broke Enigma, the German coded messages, right?
Yeah.
They had to choose who would live or die in which battles. It's exactly that. It's a calculated risk. Like okay, we can't just save these people. We will portion this off so it's for the greater good. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the calculated risk. Yeah.
So, with that, now, what I think actually would be even worse was if you were on one continent. Now, doesn't matter, you could be on any continent, but if there was an
Antarctica. I will
incubation
survive with the
period,
penguins.
let's just say you didn't turn right away.
Yeah.
This
Are
is where
you
people-
assuming you're
now-
infected?
Now, this is where
Are you
people
infected?
get really,
Zach, are you infected though?
huh?
Are you infected? Are you assuming they're uninfected right now, or
Like, you can get bit, but you're not turned.
you don't turn? There's like a week. There's
like
like
a week before it kicks in.
Okay.
Okay, this is where it gets dangerous now. Because now people are going to be like, oh shit, I'm bit, I need to find a way to stay alive. They're not going to sacrifice themselves. This is where people are selfish. And that's what's going to
It's
kill
it's self-preservation.
That's what's going to spread it.
Yeah, self-preservation. We don't want to die. We want how can I survive long enough to there's the one remote chance that I come across the antidote, quote unquote.
Yeah, now here's the thing. If everyone got bit or got infected or just killed themselves, that would solve the problem before it turned. But
That's
no
not
one's
gonna
gonna
no
do
one's
that.
going to do it.
I mean,
No
like,
one will
even
do it.
me, I've told you, like, if I get bit and I turn, give me at least a week before you take me out. A week. I want
Or
a
at
week.
least set me in my enemy's house so then I can turn and...
Well, see, that's another interesting
for that.
concept that was in Resident Evil. People were using zombies for their own personal gain.
Yeah.
In the radio tower incident, or when she was responding to a dress scandal, and they had like a gladiatorial pit of zombies, like a death pit, where she had to fight out of. Which I feel like if a zombie outbreak was to happen in that, then yeah, of course people are going to keep zombies, and there's going to be rogue nations, and there's going to be armies with people who use undead against each other.
Oh, yeah.
But
Definitely.
do you think that the epidemic would spread quicker on a supercontinent?
Depending on the type of
Depends.
disease.
Depends.
on
I mean,
the
If it was a fast, then probably supercontinent would be the best way to do it.
I mean, the best chance for survival or the best way to spread?
Best way to spread.
spread.
I mean, it all comes down to, like what I was saying before, it just comes down to the different factors. That's what it always comes down to, is the different factors. The incubation period, how it's spread, all that. You know,
Okay,
that kind of stuff.
now, everyone has a zombie plan.
Everyone has a zombie
Whether
plan.
you admit it or not.
You have a zombie plan.
We
So
have
let's go
5
down
minutes.
So each of us
So
get a
a
minute.
slow
We'll go over
zombie. Let's just say a slow zombie, a basic like a normal zombie plan.
Basic walker, Day of the Living Dead.
Yeah. What would be your what would be your survival plan?
I want to start on the other side of the
I don't
table.
know. We're starting over there.
Because I don't really have a zombie.
Yeah, so
plan.
it's fair. Zach,
Okay.
you do have you and me, Zach. Have both
I want to
nearly-
leave his as a finale. Can I leave his as the
Goddamn.
finale?
I mean, it's his choice. If he wants to share.
Okay, let's go with Nate.
Nate.
Okay.
Mine's kind of spur of the moment.
So my zombie plan basically is like this. First of all, you always need the essential tools, correct? So and those are easily, if you don't already have those in your household, there's a lot of very household things you can easily use. My plan is basically to go all religious zealot, plain and simple. So walk the streets like nothing, like kind of just like have an own following, we just do our whatever fuck. Which would be either you have to leave the city is the first thing. Cities are the hotbeds. If you go up into the hills and everything like that, which is everyone's plan though, and that's the safest place for you to be. So you have to survive off the land. Then there's also the point where I just get a boat, plain and simple. I just get a boat and just chill on a boat, and every once in a while go to shore when I need supplies. That's about it. Just go on a boat, fish. Every once in a while, be heavily armed and go down to the shore and get some things. Just a very basic, simple, nothing fancy. Just seclude myself from the thing.
I think for me, I'd
Or
probably
I start a religion. And I'd be like, this is the end, people. We need a John 3:16.
I'd probably go to like a remote Arctic island or something.
Yeah, go to Antarctica and chill with the penguins is where I'm thinking, too.
How would you get there?
On a boat.
I would find a way.
No, you don't
A boat.
understand. How would you get out of the city?
How would I get out of the city? I just walk onto the
Yeah.
res.
You find ways.
Walk onto the res.
You're
I
surviving.
have a truck. I can take the res off.
You could. I could play like a spy and just snake out of here.
Getting out of the city.
Bring the necessary supplies to survive.
Getting out of the
and fight
city
and
is the
defend
first
yourself
priority,
out.
though. Is the
You
first
get out of
priority.
the city
Get out
and
of the
then
city.
you make your way to where you
Just
want
driving
to
on
be.
the res.
It's slow
You
and
live
steady.
not exactly near the edge of the city. You ain't getting there by car.
No, I'm not. You think I'm taking my car?
For you to walk would take multiple days for you to get
No,
out.
would
but
run.
I've walked farther distance than that, and I made it in a day.
Well, that's just
walk,
straight up
too, yeah.
walking. You're now like, okay, zombie apocalypse comes out.
Or what if you just hitch a ride on a train?
Like we have trains going
Yeah.
through the city.
We do.
We have
That's in
trains
walking
like right by
distance.
downtown Phoenix.
Yeah,
we have
one of those
trains going
cargo
right
trains?
here.
Yeah, we have
We're
trains
in a big
right here.
station right behind us.
Well,
Get
then-
on the cargo
and
train.
another
just-
thing to
Yeah,
think
but
about.
here's the thing. Why would they be going anywhere?
What
That's
do you mean,
actually
why
a
would
question.
it be going anywhere?
I would start it.
The
That's
train
why.
operator would not be there.
Well, here's
I
the
would
thing.
operate
And
that
this,
trade.
and here's the
But
thing.
that's assuming that we're
Good luck.
that far into the apocalypse.
There's no like, no matter how much you think about it, no matter how many contingencies you have, there is no set plan because everything is gonna change.
Exactly.
You don't know how far it's spread. You don't know how widespread the panic
Antarctica.
is. You don't know.
Antarctica's a safe place.
We
When
don't-
Nazis went there, we can go there.
We will
You-
go to Antarctica together.
That's our plan. We will
Yes.
chill with the penguins.
You don't
I like
know
that.
where you are when it happens. You may have this great, fantastic plan, but it's kind of fucked.
Yeah,
If you're not there.
we're completely aware of that. But
Yeah.
you asked us specifically what the plan is, so
yeah.
you're being rhetorical on your own question and making it kind of
We're-
complete fool.
You're asking us to make a hypothetical plan, but saying you can't make a hypothetical
No,
plan.
I'm just saying. There's different.
You went
things-
back on yourself.
Oh my god.
That's
Shut up and let me talk.
Okay, Raven, what is your plan?
My plan? What are we talking about? Walkers? Spreaders?
Yeah, just walkers.
Widespread?
Yeah.
I got to go through my file cabinet. No, walkers. Honestly, I mean, depending on where I'm at, I mean, if I'm at home and that kind of stuff, board up the windows, make sure my family's okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the lines are going to be tied up. Find a way just to secure, like, my immediate family and just... Like I was talking about before, you don't really know what's happening, so I'm mainly just playing it by
You
ear.
have to go with it. It's the only way you can.
I'm
It is
just
the
gather
only
what you
way
can. Just gather what you
I'm
can.
just going to play it by ear. I mean, the essential things I'm going to make
Actually,
sure...
you want to hear about real quick? Make it to Las Vegas with my uncle. We have basically an unlimited supply of everything I need.
But
That's my plan. Make it to
Are
Vegas.
you worried about staying in a big metropolitan area?
Not with him.
Why
Not with the shit he's done in his life.
To fend off an entire.
I have full confidence in his abilities. I have full confidence in what his arsenal is and his abilities. Yes.
Zach,
He is everything I would need.
we have less than a minute remaining, and
We can go over that.
We can go over, but
This is a
Editing.
what is your zombie plan to kind of close it off before closing
My zombies thing. Okay.
You love this way too much.
My zombie plan. Well, let's set down the basic details. Let's say I'm at home, and let's say zombies come in the city and whatnot. My
I know what he's doing.
first fear.
What? Just talk. Raven's being Raven.
Okay, my first fear would not be the infected. My first fear would be the crazy people that are going around looting and rioting.
That's why you don't
and
go
trying
to a
kill.
Fry's, you don't go to a gun
My
store,
first
no.
thing would actually not to leave the area. Now, here's the thing. I actually live really close to the mountains and whatnot, so I could get there in less than 5 minutes just from walking. Okay? But that would not be my first idea.
Okay, question. Should we create a rally point on South Mountain for us to meet up on? Because we both live on the same mountain.
Yeah, well,
We
possibly.
need to discuss this in the future.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm close to that same mountain too.
No.
Now,
We're leaving you behind.
no, no, you're
Catch
right.
up, Jared.
No.
But here's the thing. My family, my dad especially, has been huge on guns from the beginning. Now, here's the thing. I don't truly believe that guns will be the solution to it all. So, however, to people, guns are very intimidating. Now, a lot of people know how much our family's into guns. So, first of all, that is either a scare and people will not come near our house, or they will come to our house asking for some help or a weapon, or they'll come to try to rob us. So, first of all, I know my family. They would kind of just bunker down for the beginning, get out the home defense weapons that we have. We have ammo all ready to go. We have hundreds and hundreds of rounds depending on the gun. We have set guns that we take. And so pistols, rifles, close range rifles, shotguns, long range rifles, we have them all, and they're decked out. So we just guard the house. When everything starts to calm down and there's not as much rioting from the people, then that's when the zombies come, and that's when that's the concern. And there is to get out of the city for a little bit, kind of survey, get a ground on everything, and then, to be honest, if it was just a town, if we were able to maybe go to like a Gila River area, you know, not too many people there. So, kind of clear out the town, slowly, carefully, you know, set traps, go to the traps every day, just kill whatever there, move on. However, for me, if I wanted to get crazy about it, here's where my crazy zombie, this is if I have everything under control, life has been like 3 or 5 years, you know, we got this under control, we know how to survive. I would try to find a river. Now here's the thing, Arizona is not very wealthy in rivers or water, but I would find a river, then I would go and I would look endlessly for a beaver family, okay? Now here's the thing, if you know anything about beavers, they create environments. They take small creeks and they'll make a lake out of it. And then they bring other life there.
The hydrophobia theory really works for that one.
That too. And so then I would live there. And here's the thing, that would bring the rest of the wildlife over to that area, like any little deer, rabbits, anything. So there's food right there. I don't need to rely on trying to scavenge the town anymore. Then, next thing would probably be a honey badger.
So you're going to go to Africa.
Yes, I'm going to go to freaking Africa.
During the zombie apocalypse, I'm going to take a little side trip to Africa.
Oh yeah.
If you're there, pick me up a gaboon viper. The most deadly snake there is.
Will do.
Thank you.
Not the most deadly.
Arguably. There's
The most aggressive, maybe.
Yes. Can you bring me a child? There's so many things wrong with that. Can we just say no? Can we say no to that? Is that an option?
But let's say my weapons of choice. Now, for me, I'm huge into karate and whatnot, so would be a sword, and maybe like a harness, kind of blunt. Now, I'd make a wouldn't just be a stick.
A shillelagh.
It'd be like maybe like I'd put something at the end. I'd modify it a little bit, and that would be it. I'm not for me. Then I'd probably carry around a rifle. I'm not huge on pistols, mainly because I don't shoot pistols too well. I shoot rifles and
Like
shotguns
this?
beautifully. Yes, I shoot it like Chinese.
Totally can shoot, yeah. The accuracy with this is...
So, for rifles though, for for some reason, I could do really well with rifles.
Now, what's
for
the specific rifle? Because I know I would do a 700.
700?
Remington.
Well, for me, since I would not be using it for close range, I would probably go for a sniper rifle, or I would take the SOCOM.
You're talking about 300, 400, 500 yards.
Yeah, for us, we have a SOCOM. It's all decked out.
That's a good one.
That.
Yeah,
but I also love the P90 we have.
P90s are just classic.
Yeah,
they're just classic.
And we got the long barrel of it, so it actually is still pretty.
What's the accuracy with, let's say, 450 yards away?
50 yards away?
450.
450.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've actually never really tried it that then. I don't know.
That's pushing the range on it.
Looked into that.
That's pushing the range on that, I would assume.
Probably.
For accuracy, at least.
Probably.
For accuracy.
We're going for headshots here.
Yeah. We're not going for headshots necessarily. We're going for a kill on a deer, so you can get food.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't use it for that. P90 is a small round.
I know it is. You'd have to be extremely accurate with it.
It'd probably be more for I'd probably go in for the SOCOM if I wanted that.
Yeah.
Which could do that range.
No problem. Yeah,
so.
it can push 750 on that if you're doing it right.
So. And then basically I'd just be sticking around with blunt weapons.
Because you don't need to, very smart, because you don't need to worry about ammo.
Yeah.
And see, that's for long range zombie survival. You don't kill zombies with guns. You kill them with hand-to-hand weaponry, honestly.
It would just be just making simple traps and baiting them, try to clear out the area, so I don't have to worry about that.
Because let's be realistic here. For the first, let's say, 2 weeks, you're not leaving the city. Okay. Realistically.
Yeah.
You're not leaving the city for that first 2 weeks.
And now here's the thing, my family has a lot of survival supplies, and we're not talking just zombie, our family, sadly our family has a zombie plan, but just even if the World War III broke out or just chaos because of water, here in Arizona, water is a very limited source, and right now California is already suffering for it, but Arizona's about to hit it hard soon. Lakes are unbelievably low, and I just can't wait for that to happen because people are going to start rioting, most likely. All the property value is going to go down. People are going to want to move, but they won't be able to. All this chaos is going to happen.
That's not true. Most suburban people will be able to move. It's the inner cities that are not going to be able to move. It's depending on your income level.
And what are those low-income people are going to go? Where are they going to go?
They don't have anywhere to go.
They're going to go rob the rich.
Yeah.
And we don't live in the rich area, but we live in what people consider the rich area. So we are targets. Mm-hmm. And so we have plans, for water. We have the water heater, which holds up to over 50 gallons, depending on your water heater.
People don't realize that.
Yeah, you can
people don't realize you got
water.
50 gallons of water right in your house already as is.
All you have to do is just unplug it and it just flows out. And then we have containers all around the house for rain when it comes down, because we just use that to water the plants now, save water, but we could use that for ourselves. And then food, we always have
surplus.
Are you talking about your water heater?
Yeah. Everyone's what you see. That's where you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I'm kind of screwed in that department.
But
luckily, we have a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now here's the thing: for everyone, what would you do if you ran into another person?
Another
survivor.
Survivor?
Now you always have the threat that they could just rob you, kill you, or even help you. But
it depends on the person.
Know that.
It depends on the circumstance. Depends where I'm at. Depends if I'm able to take them in.
Okay, now how about this? Give a situation for a single person, and then a group of people.
Well, the group can't be too big.
Depending on circumstances. Well, if it's too big, you have the rest of the joining.
Well, like you said, it depends on circumstances, but for me...
Would you join them?
Honestly...
Depends.
Honestly, I would just pretty much, unless I knew them very well, or if it's just a random person, I wouldn't even try to even talk to them, engage them, or anything. Just leave them alone. Why even risk that, Yeah. If they see you and you see them, just don't even be like, hey, or start running, maybe start running, but just don't interact. I love this because it was kind of like a social experiment. Many people probably know about this, is DayZ. You guys heard of that game?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about our plan as if we were playing it. But DayZ is basically a online game. It's a Arma 2 mod that some guy made. It's basically zombie apocalypse. It's an online game, and he made it super realistic. You can die from hunger, diseases, cold. It's incredibly realistic. You can get a broken leg and or become unconscious from losing too much blood. But an interesting thing they found was when you come across other players, it literally comes down to
What you have.
what you have. Either, or even not even that what they have. Either they'll shoot you on sight, or they'll like try to help you out. Most of the time, they don't even take that chance. Like in that game, because when you die, you're dead. You start completely over, your gears drop around the ground, they can loot everything you have, and you start back up on a beach or wherever the hell it is you start back up on. But interesting they found was like, it was basically just like you come across somebody and you're just like looking at them, they're looking at you with their guns and that kind of stuff, and you basically just kind of like, and just keep going. You know, when it comes down to the interaction, no one really wanted to try and...
There's just a lot of risk involved.
There isn't a lot of risk. And in that game, too, it's fascinating in that game. And if you look at it from like a social kind of standpoint, was that you'd see all these people, like, even trying to bait people. They'll come in like, hey, man, I got nothing on me. Meanwhile, their buddies, like, in a tree or somewhere, like, somewhere hiding with a sniper rifle, shoots the guy, you take their stuff, and they go on their merry way. Or you'd find people who would help you out, you'd find who would stick with your group, only to, like, kill you guys later on at your weakest or something like that. It's an interesting thing, and it's an incredibly interesting thing to look at.
Social experiments, what can I say?
Yeah.
They show how fucked we all are.
How about the Oregon Trail?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yep. Donner party.
So,
well, I guess with that, we kind of got to wrap it up.
Closing remarks?
You got anything? Yeah, closing remarks?
closing remarks.
I'll just say what I would do if I ran into people. I mean, it honestly just kind of depends on how, just the time frames, because it keep changing as it goes on. If it was in the beginning, most people are panicky, and they're not really set to betray yet. So honestly, depending on the person, if they were with the group, it's really itchy. I would kind of keep my distance. I would help them, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily give them anything. I would give them like, okay, if you guys want to stick with us, it's fine, but here's some boundaries in the beginning until you know that you can trust them. And then if it was a single person, I'd probably be more open to it, but there's always that caution. I wouldn't necessarily
Well, especially
give
if
them
you've known
weapons
the
right
person
away.
from before, too.
Yeah.
If you know the person from before, that changes everything.
True. And then, as it went on, I'd be a lot more skeptical of it. Now, here's the thing. I would hopefully establish an area around. I would know the area very well. I'd have a whole bunch of different, just kind of like hideouts. And hopefully I would see this group come in way before they saw me. Hopefully. That's never usually the situation, though. And I'd probably just stake them out. Probably just, like, observe them, see what if they do seem to have this, like, bad intentions. Kind of like how in The Walking Dead, how that one town, like, staked out Rick and his group. They found out, like, oh, they seem pretty good. Again, they didn't actually turn out that good. Kind of took over the town. But, honestly, I would try. I would try to help. I would try not to close everything off.
I agree with you. Try, but it's situation based.
Yeah,
You've got to leave your options open and just go with the flow. Go with the path of least resistance to survival. That's the most important thing. And make sure you look out for yourself first.
Well, just as in general in life, you have to come first, because if you can't help anyone else until you've helped yourself.
Yep.
Now here's one thing for anyone that's out there. If this does happen, and if I get my beavers, and if any of you kill my bloody beavers, I will rain hell.
Well, just here, we'll release them in a pit of my Gaboon Vipers.
You will suffer.
No, he's saying
The people who kill
your
my
beavers
beavers, they will go into my pit of Gaboon Vipers.
I will not let you just die. I will torture you.
With the Gaboon Vipers.
My beavers are precious to me.
They're royal.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I guess it's about that time. We went a little bit over today, but
That's
hey, no
all right.
big worries, you know.
Thanks for
You got
watching,
anything?
guys. We really appreciate it.
You got anything?
Just thanks for watching. We're going to start a separate series where every week we're going to try and just talk about just different bands. And
Music
the
in
news and that
general.
kind of- just music in general, and that'll be
I will
kind of
not
a
be
separate
there for
series.
And please feel free to leave in the comments below what your zombie plan would be. Be as elaborate as you want. Please tell us. Be vivid.
Yes.
Be detailed.
Tell us.
Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe to our channel.
And please, no one ever leave a comment that says penis.
Come on, just leave. Just hey.
I'm sorry.
And we're full circle.
And remember, Vote for me for the 2016 presidential election. Nathaniel's your man.
Montoya, I win.
Thank you for watching Full Circle presented by Reunion. This is Nathaniel, Jared, Raven, Zach.
Penis!
God damn it! We're out.
Thank you.